What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Arman Tsarukyan breaks silence on Dana White comments. When Arman Tsarukyan withdrew from his UFC 311 fight with Islam Makhachev early this year, the streaking contender was reportedly dealing with back problems. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. While speaking with members of the press following last weekend's UFC 317 card, however, Dana White indicated that Tsarukyan stepping up and making weight as the backup fighter for Saturday's card was a step in the right direction. But at the end of the day, he had an opportunity to fight for the belt and didn't make weight.
Yeah.
With Arman Tsarukyan weighing in as the backup, is he getting back in the good graces with you and the...
Well, it's not about getting back in the good graces. It's about, the guy had the opportunity to fight for a title and didn't make weight. It's just, you couldn't up anything worse than that. But he proved, now that he's not fighting for the title and he was here as a backup fighter, he made weight. So it's definitely a step in the right direction.
White's comments indicating that Tsarukyan didn't make weight at UFC 311 reignited talk surrounding the streaking contender's withdrawal. However, he then fired back during an interview with the New York Post, shooting down the narrative.
Yeah. But why nobody tried to take the interview from the doctor and ask what happened with Arman? So I had a problem with my sciatic nerve, and I hurt my back, and so my back is stuck because of sciatic nerve. And when I started cut my weight, my lower back was weak, and it happened,
In either case, it doesn't sound like Tsarukyan is next in line for a crack at the title. Instead, he'll most likely have to fight again in order to earn another title fight. Dustin Poirier reveals plan of doing steroids after retirement. In a recent interview with ESPN, Dustin Poirier revealed that after he retires from the UFC and once USADA stops knocking on his door, he's going to get jacked and tanned. He said he'll never be 155 pounds ever again, and he's going to get on steroids. Here's what Dustin had to say.
This will be the last time I'm ever 155 pounds in my life. I can promise you that.
Are we still going to be in shape, or are we just going straight diabetes?
Listen, I'm getting on steroids. Once USADA stops knocking on my door and I lay the gloves down, I'm getting jacked and tan.
Well, I'm glad I asked that.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier says Jon Jones would have beat Tom Aspinall. Recently, Cormier appeared on Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo's Pound for Pound podcast. During the episode, DC said that Jon Jones would have beaten Tom Aspinall if the fight was happening right now. However, it's important to note DC's main reasoning was Aspinall not having experience fighting in championship rounds. Here's what he had to say.
Since the fight will never happen, gun to my head, I would have said Jon Jones will beat him right now. I would have said he'll probably beat him right now, because guess why? Tom has never been pushed into those championship rounds. But if Tom gets to those once he gets to those championship rounds, even now, say Cyril Gane pushes him 25 minutes, and if he beats Cyril Gane, but he learns to go 25 minutes where that first time you feel that, I gotta get up off that stool after the third round. Tom hasn't gotten off the stool for a third round. You needed to fight Tom now when he doesn't have that experience, especially as Jon Jones.
What are your thoughts on DC's comments? Do you agree with him? Would Jon Jones beat Tom Aspinall if they fought right now? Let us know in the comments below. Ilia Topuria says Paddy Pimblett is the easiest fight for him. Although Paddy Pimblett is ranked number 10 at 155, given the bad blood between him and Ilia Topuria, there's been plenty of talk surrounding a fight between the two. While speaking in an interview with TMZ Sports on Wednesday, Topuria weighed in on a potential fight against the baddie, saying that he would be able to finish the fight however he wanted. I could choose the way I want to finish him. He's not going to stay there for more than one round with me, but I don't know. Maybe it's going to be cool to submit him on the ground with the triangle choke from the mount, something like that. And as I told him, put my balls on his forehead. With his big win on Saturday, Topuria dethroned Islam Makhachev as the pound-for-pound kingpin. While speaking with TMZ Sports, he reacted to the situation. It's always nice and great when you get that kind of recognition and they put you as a #1 fighter in the world, the pound-for-pound #1. That's something great. Not many people can say that, so I'm very proud of the fight. Although there are a number of contenders eager to get a crack at the title, Topuria isn't ruling out an eventual trip up to 170 to fight Islam Makhachev. I would love to see Islam getting the title and the UFC letting me go up to 170 and getting the third belt. Although Topuria thinks that a fight with Pimblett would be the easiest possible fight for him at 155, Pimblett's coach, Paul Rimmer, explained to Submission Radio that their team can learn from Charles Oliveira's mistakes. Charles is a great one for us because he shows you what not to do in a fight. We watched Charles fight Chandler, and we used a load of stuff that Charles didn't do that he should have done. And we used that to make up the victory in the last fight. And we just saw Charles fighting Ilia now, and there's a lot of stuff you can see you shouldn't do against Ilia. Despite all the talk surrounding a fight between Topuria and Pimblett, Arman Tsarukyan is confident that he'll wind up fighting for the title. If not, he's confident that he can beat either Paddy Pimblett or Dustin Gaethje to cement his place as the #1 contender. As he explained on the Ariel Helwani show, they're both easy money. Dana said Paddy is not next, and he shouldn't be in the octagon. Paddy is a good fighter, but he doesn't deserve to fight for the title and jump ahead of me to fight for the title. During the show, Tsarukyan also sent Topuria a message.
I just want to say, Ilia, you know who is the #1 contender, and you know exactly who you're gonna fight. It's me. Don't try to play with anybody, and so I'll see you soon.
As he explained in the previously mentioned New York Post interview, if he and Topuria do wind up fighting, his grappling will be the X factor. I'll just take him down, hold him, and just maul him. I'll finish him on the ground. He's not going to be able to escape from me. He's good at one thing, boxing. With Topuria looking to fight Pimblett and the UFC seemingly unwilling to give Tsarukyan the next crack at the lightweight belt, it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Jorge Masvidal predicts Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. While we may not have a date or location for the welterweight title fight between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev just yet, it seems to be only a matter of time before we find out when these two will collide. While speaking in an interview with Red Corner MMA this week, Jorge Masvidal weighed in on the bout, saying that he's leaning towards Islam, given that although JDM was able to stop Belal Muhammad's takedowns, Makhachev is a better tactician. Jack is special. We're going to see just how special he is. I'm leaning towards Islam, but I really think it's going to be a tough fight for him, but a great fight. Man. While Makhachev is expected to fight for the welterweight title, Arman Tsarukyan weighed in on the potential Makhachev-Topuria fight down the line, amid El Matador's recent talk of potentially moving up to 170. Islam would have beaten Ilia by TKO. That's a different level of fighter. You can't compare Ilia versus Islam. Although Tsarukyan understands how Ilia Topuria's win on Saturday made him the new pound-for-pound king, the way he sees things, once Makhachev captures gold at 170, he'll retake the throne. UFC updates. Heading into an off weekend for the UFC, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with a last-minute change to the UFC 318 card on July 19th. According to reports, with Ikram Aliskerov out, Bruno Ferreira will now collide with Jackson McVeigh in a middleweight bout that will see Ferreira look to build on a submission victory over Arman Petrosyan, and McVeigh look to pick up a big win in his UFC debut. Looking ahead at UFC 319 in August, Jeff Neal and Carlos Prates have reportedly agreed to a rescheduled date for their welterweight showdown. The fight will see Neal look to build on a UFC 308 win over Rafael Dos Anjos, and Prates look to bounce back from a loss to Ian Garry. When the UFC heads to Paris on September 6th, Marcin Tybura and Ante Della will collide in a bout that will see Tybura look to build on a 2-fight win streak, and Della look to build on a win in his UFC debut. Last but not least, the Noche UFC card is expected to play host to a clash between Rob Font and Raul Rosas Jr., with Font looking to build on a 2-fight win streak, and Rosas Jr. look to build on a 4-fight win streak. It was revealed that Meatball Molly McCann has signed a deal with Matchroom Boxing following her retirement from MMA. What are your thoughts on Molly McCann making the switch to boxing? Let us know in the comments below. Belal Muhammad predicts new UFC champion. Since Alexander Volkanovski's big win over Diego Lopez, there's been little word on when the featherweight champ will compete again. Initially, there was talk of a fight with Yair Rodriguez on the Noche UFC card. However, more recently, there's been talk of Volk fighting the winner of Evloev versus Pico. The way Belal Muhammad sees things, Yair Rodriguez is poised to become the featherweight champion next year. While speaking with Homa Fight, he explained, "Within the next year, Yair will be champ. He's just so good. I'm just excited to see if he gets the title shot again. People forget that he got headbutted in first fight with Volkanovski. Now, he's the best version of himself, and I would be excited to see that rematch." While there's been no word on Muhammad's next fight, he notably shot down rumors of a fight with Ian Garry. I've seen the rumors, but I haven't got the call from the UFC. According to Muhammad, regardless of who he fights next, a win likely puts him next in line for a crack at the title. Bo Nickal calls out Jon Jones for a grappling match. While Bo Nickal is looking to climb the UFC's middleweight rankings, the NCAA legend revealed on Wednesday's edition of the Ariel Helwani show that he had signed with Real American Freestyle, a wrestling promotion that will host grappling matches. Ahead of the promotion's first card on August 30th in Cleveland, Ohio, Nickal is hoping to secure himself a match against Jon Jones. As he explained to Ariel Helwani, Jon Jones versus Bo Nickal. He's a little big. I'll meet him at 2:30 or something. It's friendly. That's the thing about wrestling that's cool. It's not like you're punching each other in the face and you can just compete. He might politely bow out as the greatest of all time. According to Nickal, he signed a multi-fight deal with the promotion and will be competing with RAF, quote, often. While there's no telling who Nickal will compete against, Nickal's first match will take place on the August 30th card. After that, he hopes to return to the Octagon in either October or November. Another Jon Jones phone call leaked with police. A new police phone call with Jon Jones has been leaked just 3 days after his original hit-and-run phone call came out, where Jon Jones was allegedly threatening an officer on the phone multiple times. In this new phone call, Jon and the officer discuss what happened the night of the incident, and Jon denies ever being in the car with the woman. He also denied being on the phone with the officer and claimed that the quote-unquote officer that he spoke to sounded like a thug.
And it's really sad because I've known Taylor for over 10 years, and it's so sad that she resulted in doing that. Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. I flat out was not there.
Okay.
I swear on my children.
Okay. Do you remember getting a call from her that night?
Yeah, I got a call from her, and I asked her like, who is this? And she's like, I was like, put me on the phone with the officer supposedly. And I'm like, hello, who is this? And he's like, who the is this, homie? And I was like, what? I was like, this is a police officer? He did not sound like a police officer. He sounded like a thug. He sounded like a thug.
Okay.
And yeah.
He then claims that the woman left his house randomly in the middle of the night under no condition to drive, and then she got into the hit and run and called him afterwards.
Yeah, I was really drunk that night. Taylor was drinking at my house. She left in the middle of the night. She definitely was in no condition to drive. She left in the middle of the night, and things were just really bizarre. I wasn't sure who else she was on the phone with. She was telling me, get over, get here, get to this address. And I was telling Taylor, I've been drinking, and there's nothing I can do if you've gotten in a car accident. There's nothing I can do to help you. I'm over here, my heart's like pounding because I'm so shocked that someone that I've known for about 12 years, I've known her for so long, could do something like this.
The officer then hangs up with Jon and calls the woman who alleges that Jon was driving, and she says that her and Jon have been friends for 15 years, and that things went wrong when she realized that she was being recorded unclothed without her own consent. She also says that they were drinking and taking mushrooms together when she had an accident in the bathroom, and Jon had to drive her to his house to get clothes, where they eventually got in an argument and he drove her home. This is when the alleged hit and run happened. The woman also claims that she knows Jon very well and he has all sorts of mental issues, and the original argument stemmed from him taking her clothes and keeping them as souvenirs.
Yeah, so I was over at his house. He's been a friend of mine for about 15 years. I believe, to the best of my knowledge, he was recording me to not my knowledge. I think he has house cameras, but he doesn't ever tell me if they work or not. I've been friends with him for 15 years, so I don't know if they were working, but if they were, I definitely didn't have consent ever to be filmed, and if he's saying he has film, it's definitely of me. And then he definitely had given me mushrooms that night. So after that, I honestly don't remember. I remember having like an accident in regards to the restroom, and that's why he was bringing me back to my house to get some clothes. I told him that if we were going to be drinking, I didn't want, because he's notorious for kicking me out of his house.
Oh.
And he's made me drive many occasions like where I shouldn't.
You said you last remember him driving you home?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how?
And I remember asking where my pants were. So it's funny because my mom thinks that he has kept a lot of my clothing for like souvenirs, which is weird, but I know him. He has a lot of mental issues. I have had just numerous amounts of clothing just left there by chance. Okay. And I've never gotten them back. But by chance, he's also shown me like other females' clothing that he's had, so that was kind of upsetting, and I think that's kind of what maybe started the argument that evening.
She claims to have a lot of evidence and proof on Jon Jones being passed out behind the wheel and that she doesn't want to go this far, but he isn't helping her with her car.
I just have many, and like I said, he's my friend of 15 years, but I have many photos of him doing these type of things, like passed out over the wheel, things I didn't ever want to disclose, but he's now acting like the worst friend possible, not to mention that he's got the resources to help me out of my situation with my car, you know? So I am frustrated, but I definitely have things to back my accusations, if you will.
What do you think of this situation? Is Jon guilty and that's why he retired from the UFC? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.